happy to kick things off here. This is a slide that we put together just to have reminders of some basic information for anybody who's new, and let you find out where you need to go for help. And I guess probably the most important item to take a look at is this one here, where it says Sydney at Helpful Village.
I have to agree with that one.
She's very helpful. But also, if you're not using the Helpful Village Slack app, it's really useful and a good way to kind of keep up what's going on. You can check in once a day or so. Once you sign in, there's a little red light that comes on the icon, so you know if there's a new message you want to look at. And then there's also above that the improvement requests. These should go to ask.helpfulvillage.com, which we set up sometime last year, and it feeds right into this improvement request spreadsheet. So it's a form that you fill out where you tell Manuel and his team what it is that you envision or what major bugs you're experiencing, and that will go into the spreadsheet, which you also have access to view. And Manuel and or Sydney might want to say something about what should be included in those requests, but for the most part, most things can go there. Some things can go to Slack directly for if they're quick items. Is that right, Manuel? Would you say that?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the training team has put together constantly adding new training videos, and I think Sydney will be presenting whatever new ones we have this month.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started. I did want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I will be running the chat, and I will be running it from Manuel's computer. So I won't be running it from my own computer. So if you message Sydney directly on there, I won't see it. So you should message either Manuel directly or the group, and I'll be able to monitor that during the meeting. And I did want to come back to the improvement requests or even slacking. When you do Slack me or for an improvement, the more specific detail, it's a lot easier for us to pinpoint what was going on, how you got there, that kind of thing. So, something to keep in mind moving forward. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So we have the agenda. We're going to start with some exciting news. We do a Slack showcase and update. We talk about new documentation. We'll then go over the release notes, what's on the books for next month, and then an update. So this month we were able to announce an additional 3 villages, which is very exciting. We have My Glacier Village located in Montana. We also have North Animas Village in Colorado and villages of the Berkshires. So we are so happy, and I see some of them are here today. Yeah. And then Slack. This is one of our members, Carol. She works with Bay to Sound in Cape Cod area, and they have done a fantastic job of growing from an in-development village to established. On the Slack update, Slack is a platform that we use to communicate, a group messaging platform. It's easy to join. You can shoot me an email if you're not part of it. We do ask that everyone puts what village they're with, and a picture is always nice, or if not, or anything. But if you put what village you're with, it's really helpful for me to be able to pinpoint how to help you, where to find you, things like that. So just a reminder. Also, some more training videos. I have uploaded some more training videos. Recently, we created a video to help onboard volunteers. So rather than from the admin side of view, it is to help with bringing new volunteers and showing them how to look at service requests, how to be matched with service requests, and so forth. We're going to be releasing one similar for members as well to help with onboarding. And these are going to be some of our training docs we'll be releasing. We have membership management training doc showing how to configure a membership for yearly, monthly, and then also how to archive that membership if you're no longer accepting, that membership and you're transitioning. We also have a training doc about tag management, which we released a couple user groups ago about showing how to create a tag, how to use it, and then how to use it to send email messages to. We also announced concierge services last month, showing how to match a paid provider with a service request for a member, and we were able to make a training doc to showcase that as well. Also, last month we announced that we finally were able to move over to an online invoicing system.
For Helpful Village service, right?
Yes, yeah. For the Helpful Village service.
To our village, yeah.
Yes, for villages to pay your Helpful Village monthly fee. Before I was sending you emails from my email personally, and then those who did want to do bill.com could use bill.com. I will be moving everyone over to bill.com and sending invoices that way. However, you can still pay by check. That's no problem at all. If you'd rather pay by check, there will be a fee added onto your invoice. So subtract the $1 fee, and then you can mail the check. But I did want to give everyone a heads up that that is how we're moving forward. So it should be a little bit more streamlined for everyone. And then, yay, we get to the good stuff. This is going to be our release notes. This is scheduled to come out Sunday evening, April 28th.
Mm-hmm. And for those that are not familiar with release notes terminology, just means what's new on our product. This month we have been adding some improvements, and these the notes that explain what is new on this release. So this is kind of what's new. Oops. So back to you.
Perfect. So for a while, when you would go into volunteer service groups, such as friendly visit or check-in phone call, our system was showing unscreened volunteers in that group. So this is no longer happening. That was from one of our villages. We also were able to do a documents library folder structure. I know that this has been a very popular item and has been a long time coming. So that's exciting, and we'll show a little bit more of a live demo of that later on. We also have that we show the total number of active volunteers right here at the top. So this is part of the interactive report. We used to have that, or we do have that for active members, and we were able to bring that over for active volunteers. Another great feature that I have found really helpful is being able to see who created initially the service request at what time, and then also who was the last person to update this. So this is a great way to see, did a member create this service request? Did an admin create this service request? And when did it change? What happened? When was it last updated? So this is a great feature.
This is great.
Yeah. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Sydney.
So then we also have, oh my gosh, okay, I'm very excited about both of these. So we now have a much more user-friendly side of being able to choose templates for certain features. We'll go into this one first. We have it that the admin has the capability of choosing which thank you notice they would like for when a donation is made. And that can be activated and turned on the user side. Before, it was something that you communicated with us and we did on the back end. So now you'll be able to come in here, and this is part of our email template module. You'll be able to see your email template, choose what category, and choose if you would like this for the thank you for donations as an auto task. So this will be sent immediately after someone makes a donation. It's completely customizable. You can add pictures and so forth. And it also has these data tags that will pull the donor's first name, how much they made, and then you can put, your 501c3 and information like that. We're also going to kind of double down on the concierge services. So part of the concierge services was having members have the ability to use the vetted providers or preferred providers list more interactively. So in addition, we did is it can be vetted by the village, or it can also be unvetted, however member recommended. Mm-hmm. So we were able to add a little bit more visuals to it, and then a member can also leave a review whether the provider is vetted or not, and give members another feel for how that looks. So now we're going to move into our live demo.
Okay. So if we can have the same slide on the other computer. So I remember we're going to move on this piece, which is the largest piece of the of the meeting today is how to do membership management. And then for this, I'm gonna pull up probably you can help me get the browser on your computer. There you go. That was easy. So this is our demo site showing some of the new things. So regarding membership management, one of the first things we did is that you can go in and I'm going to show you this. Let me move my things around so that I'm more familiar with my computer. So admin settings, you have here an area where you can configure your different memberships. So different villages have different types of membership with different types of fees. So you can always find that in the admin area and create a new membership type. If it's individual, household, etc., set up the fees, etc., for your own village, okay? And then have different subsidized memberships if you want, etc. So this is where you create it. Once you have your membership types that have been created, the next thing that we're thinking is that we want to have the application forms ready for your members, right? So for that, one thing you would do is go to the About area, and then under membership information, you'll find the application form. Okay, so the application form is something that we had before in previous versions, and basically allows the person to enter, their name or email. I'm logged in, so it's using the name that is on my database, but they can choose, the membership type they want, and a number of additional questions that are down here. This additional question is something new in this month's release, okay? Now, something that is also new on this release is that now this editable form, this application form is now editable. So this edit button down here is new, where basically you can, as an admin, go edit this button and set up kind of a welcome message on top. Let's say, welcome to our online application. And then we want to edit this message and then to an online application form. And let's say that we want to have this in bold. And then let's say that we want to add a set of color. And then let's use this purple color. And then just save this message. The other thing that we can do is that say what are the kind of questions that we want to ask on our form. For example, if we want to ask for if this person has mobility issues, if this person has what type of house does he live in, is he's an all-E member or he's not. And then if you don't want to ask, for example, about employment status, you can just remove this option, okay? So each village can choose what are the questions they want to formulate on their application form. So now if I save our application form, just gonna review it, then you'll see that we have now the new fields here about the current health, mobility issues that the person may have, the home type, how did you hear about us, and this other question about if the person is holding an OLI membership or other, right? And there is a field for free text, and then this person just can go in and send the application form. Okay, so that's one. You see here also this is also new, is that you have the possibility to edit the title of the application form. In the past, we were saying membership application form. And for some villages, that sounded a little bit too aggressive because people may want to have information request rather than an application form. So you can now choose that on the same editable form. And this is where we display the message that you can choose how you want to welcome people to this application form. Same thing happens for, here about volunteer information, the volunteer application form, which is also editable. In the same fashion. So here we chose a different set of questions about the health, here about us, or an OLI membership. So let's do it again here. And let's say that in this case, we don't want to change this form. This is the title of the form that I was talking about a minute ago. And then let's say here that we don't want to ask any of these questions for your volunteers, and then just save it. So now the volunteer application form now has the volunteer activities that the person may want to do for volunteer for members. This other box where it's volunteer for the village builder, and then all the other questions are not present anymore. Okay, so now we have these application forms ready and configurable. Now what happens when someone submits this application form? So if the person is not logged in, right, is an anonymous person on the internet, well that will create a person on the database with the address. If this person wants to become a volunteer, we will check the volunteer activities he wants. So that will be recorded in the database automatically. You don't need to type them. But these people, the volunteers, will not be screened. They will be unscreened volunteers, and they are unable to log in. But so obviously there is a little bit of admin work, which is, well, yes, I think this person has been reviewed and is now screened, ready to volunteer for other people. And then you need to allow this person to volunteer, to log into the system with the unable to log in. Similar thing for membership. And the membership is not active. So our principle is that this is kind of a form that is reviewed. We store the information in the database, but they don't become actual members, nor they become actual volunteers until the village validates, interviews. Maybe the person goes through whatever process they want to go and basically accept them as such. Okay, so that's for the application forms. The next one is big. Do you want to show this one?
Okay.
Okay.
You want to talk about it first? Yes.
Okay. Next one is, I think, is the biggest improvement we did this month. So, I would like to emphasize that is talking about renewal of a member, right? Is what we highlighted here in the PowerPoint presentation. Now we have an automatic or manual member renewal message. So this is about the renewal campaign. Let me show you that on the admin website. So you have your members' information. Can you show me a member, record? Alexis, maybe it's a good idea, you think? Or Nicole? Okay, so we found here one of in our database very quickly found a member, and you have their member information. They're an active member. This member since this date, and then they have an expiration date, right? So that's all good. Now, what happens is that we recommend villages to set up an automatic renewal campaign, right? And I wanted to show you how that works. The way that works is that you now go into admin, settings, and then email templates. Okay, and then email templates, you can add more email templates, but basically there's, you can have welcome to the village or a village renewal notice. This is the one that I really want to show now. And basically what this is some text that you can choose and edit here and customize to your village, where basically you say, dear first name, it is time to renew your annual membership for the village, which will expire on, the expiration date will be replaced. So this is kind of, you can customize the text and how you are addressing your audience. And then the system will replace these variables with the actual data, and expiration dates, etc. Now, we already had these templates. Now, let me show you what's new on this version. What is new on this version is that now we have added this column here that is called email templates for auto tasks. So now if you have, you can choose what is the template you want to use for your renewal notice, or which template you want to use for the confirmation of the membership renewal. This means confirmation of membership renewal is when someone's renews online. Well, there's an automatic email that will be sent out to them thanking them for renewing. And this is where you match your template with, automatic action of the system. The other thing that is really exciting about this release is that we now added a button here, which is a renew with credit card button, right? So basically what happens now is that when you have a member, that is, they can now go online, pay for their membership renewal with their credit cards. They don't need to log into the system. In our previous version, we were sending the same message, but we were inviting people to log into the website and then click on renew membership, and then take a number of steps and also logging in. Now we made it easier because we send the same message, but people can renew their membership without even needing to log in. So let's show an example of that. Maybe it's better if you send. Show an example of how the renewal message goes out.
So we know that Walter is coming close to expiring, and so I can come over to his profile, and I'll select his activity tab. This is where I'm able to send village renewal notice, overdue messages, ask him about an event, so forth. So I can come here and select send message. This is where I'll be able to choose an email template. I can come down here and say, all right, I'd like to send him a renewal notice. I select village renewal notice. It then populated Walter's name, his expiration date, what his village dues are, and then also his associated information. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go ahead and click send. So now it has been successfully sent to the email outbox queue. So we can come here, and as Walter, I see, dear Walter, it is time to renew your annual membership. This is it. And I can say, okay, great, I'd like to renew with a credit card. So I can click here. And I see that it says, I'm not logged in right now. And it says membership renewal. It shows my information, when my expiration date is, my membership type, and if I'm monthly. And I can say, yep, that looks right, and go ahead and pay with credit card. Perfect. And I have a credit card successfully charged. Once I've done that, if the village has automatically set up a template for confirmation, I will have received an email confirmation stating this email. We can come here and see it this way, saying thank you for renewing. So we can view this here. Thank you for renewing your membership, and this is one that La Miranda uses at one point, and it tells them thank you and what else you can do with the village.
Mm-hmm. Great. So the other thing that I wanted to say is that Sydney just showed how you would send this renewal message manually. I mean, it's semi-automatic, so she decides when to send the message, and the system is replacing the values, making it real easy. There is also a way to make it automatic, so that basically, if you choose the renewal template, basically 30 days before expiration date, the message will go out, the email will go out to the member. So you can have membership renewals without any human interaction. It's just the email going out at 30 days before expiration, the member receiving the email, making the payment, and then we will update the database with the expiration dates and record the payment on the person's profile, right? So we go here to Walter, who just renewed. I can now, in here as an admin, if I go to the pay tab, I see that he paid on today, 24th of April, a renew membership with, $500 with his credit card. So this is automatically recorded for you. It's very easy to, have these renewal campaigns. Great. So I think this is what we wanted to show about membership management. There's a couple of other features that we wanted to show while we are on the website. If you can, I think you have the previous ones. Yeah. Yes, documents library, that's a good example. So if we go here, some of the release notes that we announced earlier on the PowerPoint, I just wanted to show them you on the on the website. So one of the new things is that you can now go into the documents library, the admin area, and now we have added a possibility to organize your documents with these different folders. So you have these admin documents, the member documents, the newsletters that will be stored here, and then the reports. So in particular, when Helpful Village produce reports that are stored on the system, you will find them here on this folder. So, I'm not going to say much about how the folder system works. You all are used to, having folders on your computers. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show is here about the preferred providers, where basically we have the member can go in and find provider for different categories. In particular, I want to show you an example. If a member is looking for general contractors, and this is what we showed before in the presentation, is like the member can now see a list of providers that are listed on the Village website. And they are now listed under two different categories. So vetted, which means that the village has run some checks, right, that your village can decide on. Is it checking the business license? Is it checking, whatever your village process is? And then you label them as vetted, so basically your members are confident. In some cases, some villages have providers that are recommended by a member, but the village doesn't feel confident enough or have not verified the documentation. They want to have them listed. So it will appear on the website as unvetted for now. And I want to show you how you can manage that. If you go to see this specific provider, the G Brown, when you go down, you can now edit it. You can go down here when you're editing a given provider. You have these different vetting steps that you can define for your village. For example, here, let's say that we have the business license that your village decides to check. And so that's now a step. And actually, when you receive the business license and that is all checked and recorded on the system, then you can always come, the next step is you need to go here and check these two boxes. So there are two boxes here. One is visible to members, which is the kind of this orange level that was showing as, member recommended, and this better enhanced level, which is not only member recommended, but also vetted by the village. And if you check these two check boxes down here, and then you submit this, well, now, when you go to the list of providers, the G Brown is also showing as vetted, okay? So, yeah, so this is a good way to show your members a larger list of providers, and with, these two different levels of confidence, based on vetted or unvetted, and with a number of reviews of other members of the village. Okay, do we want to show another item on the PDF? So that one's good. Membership management, we have after that one. No, that. Okay, definitely. Maybe this is a good time for for questions. I know there have been a ton of activity on the chat, but I want to pause now for 2 seconds and then maybe allow for a discussion. So before, if you have questions or comments, please don't forget to unmute your computer before you talk, and then we can now take your questions. Do you have some things from the chat you wanna read?
Manuel?
Yes.
Hey, it's Carol. Just a quick question on the membership renewals, the automatic ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that the email that gets sent out automatically would also show up on the activity tab in the person's record. Is that right? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Once it's sent, I think we sent one for Walter.
Yeah.
If you go to the activity tab, this is basically where we record what has happened with this person. So this is the message on the date of today, 11:23 here in Mountain Time today. And you can always go back and see the message that was sent to the person. And then you see here, dear Walter, the message. So it's always recorded there. You can go back and see if the renewal notice was sent or not sent. By the way, on activity, not only you have the email that has been sent to this member, but also the events this person has participated in, and also the request that this person has received, or the service that this person has provided for other people. So this is not new, what we have here, but definitely the match with the enhanced automatization of membership renewals, that's the new piece.
Good. Perfect audit trail.
Okay, good. Thank you for the question, Carol. I know it's hard to ask, but we really love when there are questions and allow us to clarify. So if there is someone else that wants to pitch in, we're super happy to answer the questions.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is Joanne. I just wondered on the, it's kind of going backwards a little bit, but on the membership options where you displayed one that had the option to shift to a 6-month or 12-month, where will we customize that? Is that just built into the choices of membership on the settings, configure memberships?
It's a great question, Joanne. Let me do it together. So it's admin settings and then config memberships.
Right.
Here you have your different list, and then if you take one of those,
okay, I see. You say the 6 months right there on the time period, and that will automatically.
And then here you say, so this type of membership, let's say that we are offering it for some reason at $100 for one member, and then if you pay $100, then that gives you kind of 6 months of membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go in and save this. And now you see, well, your scholarship is $100 for a 6 month. So basically, you know, in now what happens if you have renewal notice activated and a renewal template, you know, ready? Well, then after 5 months, well, the email will go out and this person will be able to renew, right? And then if they renew, well, their expiration date will be, you know, will be postponed for another 6 months.
Okay.
Now, if the village doesn't want to have 6-month memberships and only 12-month memberships, right? Well, then you can obviously do it and you know, remove this option here and only have 12 months periodicity memberships. You choose. I know there was thank you for the question, Joanne. I know there was another question from someone else.
Manuel, this is Jen in Montana. When you were talking about the memberships, you had an example of an application, and then you also had an example of an interest form. Are those two separate forms, or do you choose one of those forms?
Yeah, excellent question. Let me go there. It's the same form, but let's do it together. So if we go to the application form, okay, so here it says membership information request, okay? But now if you edit this form and you say that for your village, you prefer when it says membership application form.
Okay.
Because in your village case makes more sense or you like it better, just go down and then save it.
Okay.
And then now it says membership application form with the same, you know, information below. So before you had no choice of this title. Now this is new this month, fresh out of the oven, and it's like you can choose whatever title fits your needs best.
Perfect. Thank you.
Do we have other questions? I love the question.
Yes, this is Susan at East Rock Creek Village. We have a number of people who are not internet connected.
Mm-hmm.
Can we record things mailed to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Under activities?
Yeah, so what I would do here is that if we go to this member that you know, this is Walter, you have these different tabs. You know, these tabs are about the address of the person, the membership information, additional info, activities. There is one tab, you know, the emails that we send from the system are recorded under activity, right? As we showed before. If you have kind of more manual process, we would recommend you use the notes tab, where basically you can add kind of any notes. And the good thing about this is that you are pretty free. You can log, you know, many different things. So for example, here, let's say it's membership renewal, and then say, let's say, like I'm gonna looking for example of a name, which is, let's say, Tracy, sent renewal letter on 4/20 to the member. Boom. And then you write the text. This is free text description. You save it, and now this will be recorded here about the person that wrote the note. So I'm logged in as Sydney, and I wrote this note today. Membership renewal, and then we see here the description with Tracy sent a renewal letter, so that you can record it there for that reason. You can record many, I mean, in these free notes, you can record different things, not only renewals, but, you know, anything that you think is relevant for this member.
Manuel, what is Ollie? OLLI?
Yeah, so this is a free ad for them, but it's basically, someone probably will know better than me, but it's Osher Lifelong Learning Organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're not paying us anything for this ad.
Just was wondering.
No, but it's just, you know, we have been working on this application form with some villages, and I mean, and they receive, and this is, you know, jokes aside, they have seen it at they have some sort of partnership with them, where basically people go for lifelong learning or learning opportunities, and then when they go to this organization, well, basically this organization tells them, well, you know what, besides the services we offer, there's also a village that offers other type of services like volunteer or, you know, events. And so sometimes, you know, working with other organizations in your neighborhood is interesting, and they wanted to capture that, saying, well, you know, if they're also an OLI member, maybe Ollie sent it our way, so it allows you to record it. But I'm not an expert on this Ollie. I don't even know how we pronounce it, so I hope it's Ollie.
It's OLI in these parts up here in Washington State.
Okay.
Institute.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have other questions? I really like this interactivity. It's really fun.
What is a NB member?
Wait, who first? So Gary is.
Yeah, that was Gary from Sierra Foothills.
Hi, Gary. Yeah. So can you repeat your question?
Yeah, there's one of the forums earlier had something about NB members, and I don't know what an NB member is.
Yes, can be. Here, you think?
For settings.
Settings.
Configure
Oh, yeah. This is another joke. I think it's my. She's gonna make fun of me. But basically, when you choose NB members, it's here, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is me being a geek. It's short for number, so it's like maximum number of members on a household is set to be 2 people. Okay. So I change that because Sydney doesn't like it, but I say maximum number of members. And in some cases, so obviously for individual memberships, let me show you that is 1, right? Max number of members in an individual membership is 1. But then if you have a membership like household, is usually 2. In some cases, something that is interesting that we're working on is we have seen households that have more than 2 people, sometimes the mom or the dad or something. So we'll be extending this to, have a possibility to have more associated members in the same household. So if you have, maybe husband and wife, and maybe the father or the mother that is living together, villages already do have, household membership with more than 2 people. Thank you for the question, and I'll fix that. We have other questions coming up, or maybe not. But if you have,
Well, this is Lisa from Marin Villages. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, great. So with the membership application form, to make that as efficient as possible for us, it would be really important that there was some sort of agreement to the terms and conditions of the waiver that we have. Yes. Because if the person who is effectively applying online already knows, that we want to hold our volunteers harmless and other things that we would put in the membership application, and they click that box and said, I've read those terms and conditions, then when we get all this information, we can use that as a signature effectively and keep moving with the process. If we don't have those terms and conditions, then we're actually going to have to send them a piece of paper or something for them to sign and then send it back to us. So is there some way to include that into that membership application to really make it an online process?
Yeah, so I don't think we have that today, but I think we need to have it. It's a great idea. I think I can totally see how that can save time, and even that we can record that fact on the system. So we need to add that. That's a great improvement. Also,
I did want to mention something real quick. We talked about membership renewal and having these automatic emails. I do know we have a number of villages where their members are not quite computer literate, or they have snowbirds, and one of the villages is Beta Sound, and so there is a way to print an email template if you would like to print it and create a Word doc and then mail it. So we can come here to the same tab we came earlier to activity, and then we can come here and select send a message to this person, and we can go ahead and select village renewal notice. And then when we come down here, instead of sending it, we're going to go ahead and select save draft. And then when it's saved as a draft, we'll scroll down to the bottom once again, and this is where you're able to click download doc. It will create a Word document that you can then open and print out, and it will still pull all this information that
automatically.
Yeah.
And you can put it in an envelope and send it, for snail mail. That's there's a secret trick that Sydney has. That's a good one. And I have another one. It's like sometimes we do so much stuff in the month that we don't have time to put them all in the PowerPoint. Is that we have a possibility to do monthly payments for membership, right? And there are different options. One, what we were doing before is that we were asking the admins to basically stop the monthly payments when, you know, the membership was expired. The membership, was expiring. We have added an improvement. Do you have that on the PowerPoint?
Mm-hmm. You can show that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So that's my mom. So we have here. I wanted to show a picture of my mom. Sorry. And then here, when this person is set up monthly payments with their credit card, and their member tab looks like this, where you can change the credit card if you want to change another credit card on file, and also stop the monthly payments for the credit card. The admin can always do it. In our previous version, when a person with monthly payments was reaching expiration date, we were asking admins to go in and press this button. Another improvement we did this month is that we are now automatically stopping the monthly payments, without human interaction. And then obviously if the person wants to go in and activate monthly payments again, well, they will need to enter the credit card numbers again. So it's just, an explanation of this other improvement.
Question about that?
Mm-hmm.
When you stop the monthly payments, is there an automatic message that goes out to tell the member that their monthly payments have come to an end?
No, there is no email at that point. Obviously, because the thing is that sometimes, it's interesting. We definitely didn't want to do it before, because when you're stopping monthly payments, probably you want to send a message with some very good language. You know what I mean? Is that why? What's going on? You know what I mean? And we didn't want to do it automatically with a cold email.
Mm-hmm.
And now, obviously, that we have improved email templates, we maybe can do something smarter. But
I guess the renewal notice,
mm-hmm.
if there's a way that when you send out your renewal notice, you can include a sentence that says, if you do not respond by such and such a date, your monthly payments will be
stopped. Absolutely, that's a great idea. We should take note of that one and at least add that language to the email template. And you can obviously each village can modify it, but it's a good idea.
Noel, can I ask a question? This is Lisa again.
Yes.
I'm not sure I understand that. When we set up a member. We have two different types of monthly payment structures.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
One of them is to have 12 installments, right?
Yes.
So 12 payments over the course of the year, which would naturally stop after the 12th payment. And then they would be coming up for renewal. So there's no reason to stop anything, because the credit card's only been authorized to be debited or charged 12 times.
Yeah.
The other ones would be continuing memberships, which should go on indefinitely. And those would be stopped, if they decide not to continue their membership, or they move, or they pass away, or things like that. So I'm not really sure how I could see this stop payment being great if someone passed away, right? Because if they're on a monthly payment, we'd want to end those payments.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're on a regular monthly payment structure where they're being charged 12 times, there'd be no need for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let me show you here on the admin settings. You're right. It's a great clarification, because we say monthly, but we have different kind of settings for the monthly. If we go back to config memberships, and then we choose this individual monthly membership type, right, with the different fees and such. And here we have different options you can have, right, with checkboxes. So Lisa, to what you're saying, monthly payments are enabled for this membership type. And then if we check this box, is monthly payments extend the expiration date for 1 month. So this is kind of what happens when you have a member that says, well, I want to be a member for as long as I live, right? And then basically the expiration date is always extended by 1 month every time we receive a payment, okay? So in that case, we never stop the monthly payments unless you go in manually as an admin and say, well, this person, moved or something, and then I want to stop the monthly payment. In this case, we don't stop it automatically, right? But if you have a membership type which this is not activated, right? So what happens here is that the person is committing for the periodicity of the membership. For example, here, in this example, you have 12-month periodicity. It means you have a new member, right, that is committing to be a member for the next 12 months, right? But who can pay their monthly fees, in installments? But still owes, what I mean is that, 6 months in, we're still supposed to pay the 6 remaining months, right? And for this case, then when the expiration date arrives and this person has not renewed, well, then we will automatically from the system stop the monthly payments. I hope it was clear. Does it answer your question, Lisa?
So that kind of answers my questions. I think it's just a different thing. It's very confusing for a member when they know that their monthly membership fee is $32 a month to see a $500 number. Yeah. So that kind of is distracting. But so if you have 12 periods a month and you sign them up on the credit cards, the credit card's going to be debited every month for 12 times. So that totally get it. And then if somebody moves or dies or decides that they have to terminate their membership early, we click that little button that says stop the membership.
Yes, and on the member tab of the person, yeah.
Right, that's great. Now the continuing membership, I understand the back end that you just want to continue it every month. As long as the member doesn't see, you're extending it every month, that's fine. I mean, the wording is a little weird just because we do it continuing with the assumption that it's a year commitment, but that's just wording. Yeah. So what you're saying is if it's a continuing membership, it would be extended every month, but we wouldn't necessarily have to we would, on the month periodicity would be 1.
It would be correct? 1, exactly, yes.
Okay, right, well that's really important to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question because, this is definitely, I think it all makes sense, but sometimes expressing it with words, it's, I don't know why it's that hard.
Is there a way to suppress that fees? Here? Maybe we could talk about it offline because if they come to a window to say how much do I owe and they see $500 and they think they're paying $32 a month, not many people are going to do the math to say, oh, I get it, or even get the logic because it just doesn't make sense. So that's just maybe an enhancement.
Yes.
So let me, annual fee?
Exactly. This is what happens here, but definitely requires some explanation. Is in this case, right? If you, for example, this one makes sense. If we have, if we have a 12-month periodicity, right, and you want to make a lump sum payment, you would pay $500, right? This is how we designed it initially, and then, but
that would be an annual payment, so there wouldn't be 12 months, right?
So wait, what?
So if you have 12 months, then you wouldn't be paying it on a lump sum.
No, exactly. But what the way this kind of works today is basically this. This is a lump sum fee is this much.
No, I understand the math. I just it just
which would be more than thing divided by 12. Now, if you have the other option, which is kind of the, how did you call it, continuing membership, right? Well, in that case, obviously the month periodicity is 1, but here we would have also a 45 because it's kind of the same thing, a lump sum for 1 month, right? Or the monthly fee is 45, so we never show 500.
Yeah, I'll talk about it offline, but I just think that the screen that you show for the person to renew online could be very confusing to somebody.
Yeah, well, definitely, for you, Lisa, because you have some feedback you want to provide, but also for all other villages, we definitely want to hear your feedback and definitely, we'll hear that it's as clear as possible.
Great start. It's a great start.
Great, cool. Thank you. Do we have other questions?
There are a couple in the chat. I don't know if you take a look.
I'm not reading the chat, but Cindy's on it. So you wanna take over?
I can point out a couple that.
Okay, let's go.
Or Sydney, are you going to do that?
No, you can go ahead, Joanne.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So Peter wants to know if we remove a membership type that has members, what happens to those members?
Good.
So I did answer, I've been answering directly because that's what the system automatically does. But yeah, however, if you do have a membership that you decide you're no longer offering, you can archive that membership.
Let's check what's here.
You can archive that membership, and then it is no longer shown on the application forms. And then that member can have that membership until either you want to move them into a new membership or they expire, and then you transition them into a new membership. So it really depends on the method you're looking to do. So you could move members immediately into new memberships or wait until their expiration date, and then you archive that membership. And so it's still showing the data and things like that, but just a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's what that's a great point. It's archived. It's not that it goes in dark, as we do for people. For example, you archive spammy users, but it's more like about not accepting additional, members into this membership type, not showing on the application form.
Okay. Someone else, Bonnie's asked about whether she should change her continuing monthly payment memberships to, they're currently listed as 12-month periodicity, and she wants to know if she should change them to 1 month, like you were showing here.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think it would have any impact to have any both. I wouldn't change it, because whatever happens when this is activated, it's the expiration date is going to go 1 more month. But what I mean is not actually the periodicity is interesting. What I mean is the month periodicity is not being used when we have continuous membership, because what happens is that we're always adding 1 month when we receive the monthly payment. Now, do you want to update? She can update, and I think it makes more sense. Yeah,
thanks.
It's not a big deal, but I think it's just cleaner in terms of data if it is set to 1. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is another question in the back.
This is Peter. Just a clarification on that archiving of membership types. So if I remember from the previous screen, you can actually delete a membership type.
Yes.
Is that correct?
It's a good question.
So my question really is, if I archive it, I understand what happens.
Yeah.
If I delete it, that's not the same as archiving it? What happens?
No. It's a great question. So what happens is deleting is gone, right? But we will not allow you to delete it if there is people in that membership type, right?
Excellent.
So, for example, if you had, these founders membership when you created the village, right? That people were member in that membership. We don't want to lose that data, so we will forbid you to kind of delete that membership type. Now, if you were kind of getting your village started and then you mistyped it, or you created too many, or or it's empty and there's no associated data, then we allow you to delete it.
Good, thank you. Excellent.
Great, thank you for the question.
So we have a couple minutes left, and I don't want to hold anyone too long. I know sometimes we start to get a little brain dead. So I wanted to go over what is on the docket for next month. And so we'll come here. And so our new priorities for next month that will be released May 26th. The current priorities is we will be making all Village Builder groups mailing lists. So these will be synchronizable with MailChimp. I know that this is a much wanted improvement, and we're excited about it. Things with MailChimp, there's a lot of moving parts. So we'll have that next month. We'll also have it that managers will be able to, so this is something from Carquinez. So having that, if you are an events manager, you'll be able to update the corresponding email template. So some of our villages have an automatic weekly email that goes out on Sunday with a template, and so they can change it weekly to fit the season and so forth, and highlight what they'd like. Same thing will go for like a members manager. So a service request manager will be able to update and edit the renewal messages. We'll also be having the providers list and the membership directory be downloadable as a PDF. So this is a great resource for those members that you have that don't use a computer. You'll still be able to print out saying, hey, here's a membership directory of our members and phone numbers or so forth, and same thing with providers. We'll also be doing a very similar feature to what we released this month with the service request. So on the service request, you were able to see who initially created it with a timestamp, and then who has last updated it with the timestamp. We'll do the same thing with who initially created a membership and when it was last updated. That way it can, same protocol for troubleshooting, things like that.
Yeah, and the reason for that one is simply, sometimes villages have several people managing membership, right? And then if you want to track down kind of data entry that is not being done following the guidelines or something, you will see the information of saying, oh, well, this person, we need to, to review the guidelines so that, membership is created properly, or anything. Just a way for admins to track kind of activity that was done related to membership. Okay, so that's for the current priorities. That was good, and you can. There you go.
And then our next meeting is going to be May 22nd, and then so forth. Here are links. Just a reminder, we have our users group meeting on the 4th Wednesday of every month. It does require a registration through the V2V network website. And I did want to mention that there is registration for early bird registration for the Village to Village conference in Chicago this year.
And we'll be there.
Yeah, and May 31st, I believe. I'm sure Travis could clarify. But if you can make it, it's always a lot of fun. It's really interesting. There's some, very interesting and dynamic villages, and they do a great job. So if you're looking for the early bird special, get on it. So it was great seeing everyone. It was always fun.
It was a great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon. See you next week. And we are 59, perfectly on time. Thank you, everybody.
Perfect.
Thanks, Noel.
Goodbye.